Hello, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Hi, Carol. You were here early. So, hello, everybody. So, I have a new catalog launch little event that I wanted to do today just to kind of celebrate the launch of the new catalog. So, I had a hard time deciding what projects to share with you today because there's just so many fabulous products in the new catalog. But I'm going to focus on the Tea Boutique Suite. So this is what I'm going to be using today, the cup of tea stamp set. And then let's see if I can open this up here. And then I'm going to use the teacup dies that go along with it. So I have some really fun projects that I want to share with you. And actually, I have quite a few projects that I want to share with you. And then I'll tell you about a little surprise. I put together just a fun little surprise for all of you, just to kind of celebrate the new catalog. So, hello, hello. So, here are the cards that we're going to create today. So, I'm doing these are the new Tea Boutique cards and envelopes, is what they're called. So, they have the card bases are already done for you, and I should probably grab the envelopes. Let me grab those, which are right behind me here. So they have coordinating envelopes, and they're in all five of the new in colors. So I love that they have coordinating cards and envelopes. So really all you have to do is just decorate the cards and you have some coordinating envelopes. So it's super awesome. So I'm going to show you how to make all of these cards, and then I'm going to show you some additional card ideas. So hello, everybody. Hello. So we'll start with this one. So this is the Parakeet Party, and I'll grab the all my stuff here. Let's see. I'm going to make the screen a little bit bigger so you guys can see the projects. Let me just move some of this stuff here. I got too much stuff on my desk, but let me make this bigger so you can see everything. So this is what the card base looks like. So it's just your standard card base. It's the 5.5 by 8.5, and they're already scored in the middle at 4.25. So these card bases all come together in a pack, and it's a pack of 20. So you get 20 cards and envelopes. So you basically get four of each of the five colors. So it makes it really easy for card making. So this is the first card that I designed. So this card base was already done for me, so I didn't have to do anything there. And so what I did is I paired this with the Tea Boutique Designer Series paper. So all the Designer Series paper that I'm using is from that particular suite. So basically everything I'm using is from that suite. So hello everybody. So the first thing I did is just decided to add some designer paper, just a little bit of designer paper, and then a little bit of cardstock. So this piece is just 1 inch wide. And just so you guys are aware, in the description with this video, you will find the tutorial for all the cards that I'm sharing with you, all five of these cards. So feel free to download the tutorial. You could also join my email list if you want, but you don't have to. Of course, I'd love it if you did. If you join my email list, you do get a free tutorial every week. So just kind of keep that in mind. But you can just download the tutorial. So feel free to go out there and download the tutorial. So this is just 1 inch wide, and it's 4.25 inches long. And I just kind of adhered it towards the bottom. Then I just cut a little 1/2 inch piece of garden green cardstock. And then so it's 1/2 inch wide, it's 4.25 inches long. And then I just adhered it across the card base. So these are very simple cards. And if you don't have the cards and envelopes, you can still use these card designs that I'm sharing really with any supplies that you have on hand. So hello, Kelly and Susan. Hello, everybody. All right, so then I'm using my doilies because you guys know I love my doilies. So these are the Heart and Home doilies. These are in the mini catalog. They come in three different colors, but I like using the white side. So I use the white side for everything. So I'm just going to add the doily because I felt like the tea boutique suite. If we're talking about tea, we got to be talking about doilies and, frilly foo-foo stuff. So so that's why I had to put it on there. So the next thing I did, oh, sorry about that. The next thing, you guys can still hear me, right? Last time somebody beeped in, you guys couldn't hear me. So the next thing I did is I stamped all of these things already so that so they were ready to go for today. But there's an image in this set. You just stamp it on a scrap piece of white cardstock. I'm using garden green ink here. So you stamp it there, and then there's a coordinating die that cuts this piece out. So these two pieces get adhered together. So you have your little teacup, which you can cut out, and then you have the little foliage on the top there. So before I do that though, I'm going to take a little piece of string and I'm going to add it to my teacup. So I got to find my washi tape here. So you just need a really tiny piece, and we'll just add this right to the back of this teacup here. And then this will just kind of drape down on the front. So I'm going to hang on to that because what I want to do is I want to adhere this foliage here to my teacup. So just like that. So then I have just this little piece of string hanging down. So we'll give that a second to set up. And then I just created a little tag using one of the dies from this set. So I'm going to trim this down just a hair, hopefully. So cut that little piece off. And then we will adhere this little guy. I keep calling it a little guy. And we'll adhere this right down to the card. So I'm going to put a dimensional right over the top of that. So yeah, I cheated a little bit, I guess, but it gives it a nice effect. And you don't have to tie anything. You could just tape that little piece of string on there and then add your little tag. So it's just kind of a fun way to use some of the things in this set. So I'm just going to pop this up on the card. And let's put a couple of them on here. So there's lots of things you can do with this set. I think that's why I like it so much. All right, so we'll add our little teacup there. And then along with the teacup and some of the other dies, there's a little die that you can use to create these flowers. So there's a stamp image, which I'll show you in a little bit with this other card. But this stamp image has all 5 of these images on there. And then when you go to cut it out with the die, it cuts out all 5 at the same time. So I already have them cut out and ready to go. So now we can just decorate our little teacup here. So I'm just using Daffodil Delight just to add all these little colorful pieces. And some of these are really tiny pieces. So you can use take your pick tool or any kind of tool to pick up these little tiny pieces. Now I added dimensionals on the back of mine. You can just, use glue dots or whatever makes it easy. And we'll just add these pieces. So you can already see it just looks really cool once you start adding the little florals in here. All right, so there's our first one. And then the last thing I did is just add a little slice of lemon right here on the side. So we'll just add a little dimensional there, and I'll add a little bit of glue because it overlaps onto our teacup. So that's it. And then you can embellish it with some pearls. I have to find mine before I do that. So let me grab some of these. And you have just a really pretty card. So that is card number 1. Yeah, I like the fact that the doilies come in color and you can flip them over and use the white side. I just dropped some of my flowers on the floor. Hang on a second. They're so tiny. Okay, so that's the first one. And then there's a coordinating envelope. So you have a really nice envelope that you can use along with this. So I probably could have done it in the same color flowers, but that's okay. I like it this way. All right, so we'll set that one aside. So now I'll bring in the next one. So this is the sweet sorbet. Oops, I put my cards too far away here. Let me grab them. So this is the sweet sorbet. It might look a little brighter than it actually is. It's my camera may be making it super bright, but it's not as bright as it might look. So for this one, what I did is I started with just some little pieces of designer paper. So this is 1.5 by 4, I believe. Let me just double check. 1.5 by 4. And then I have a smaller piece, which is just a 1/2 inch wide by 3. So I just kind of made like a little, I don't know, a little focal point, I guess, or little accent piece on the side here. So I just put it on the left side. And then I like to use my scraps up this way. So if you ever have little pieces of scrap designer paper like this, just add them on the side of, your bigger pieces, and it just kind of accents it really nicely. So I like to do that. Then I'm not wasting any scraps. And then of course I have my little doily. So we'll add this guy right here. And then I cut out another teacup shape. So this one is in the sweet sorbet. And there's a really nice overlay image in this set. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Put this out of the way here. So we're going to use sweet sorbet ink. And then I'm going to take this stamp image and I'm going to overlay it onto this cup, hopefully. So it's fairly easy to do. Maybe not with a camera right in front of you, but it's pretty easy to do. So we have our little teacup. You can just stamp that on there. You can make it easier if you just stamp it first on a scrap piece of this cardstock and then cut it out with the die. But for the purpose of showing you guys these projects, I did it a little differently. So put this on here. And oops, I got to add my little, oh, for crying out loud. I got to add my little piece up here on the top. So let me put that on there. I got to add my foliage. We still have plenty of room. There we go. So we'll add that. So have you guys looked at the new catalog? Is there anything that jumped out at you? This was one of my favorite suites. There's another one with butterflies in it that really jumped out at me too. So you guys will end up with butterflies and teacups for a while and the in colors. So, all right. So then this time I cut a couple different color flowers and I decided to go with the bigger flowers instead of cutting out those smaller ones. So I just rotated the sweet sorbet. So that's what this is. And then I used petal pink. So petal pink is one of the colors in this particular suite. So that's petal pink here in the background. So I just kind of rotated the colors. It's like once you add these little flowers, it just really makes the teacup just looks really pretty. I like it with the little florals in there. And then for the last thing, I have a little 1/2 inch wide piece of this is petal pink, and I'm just going to use some of that sweet sorbet just to add my little greeting. So we'll stamp this right in the middle. And that's it. So, it kind of looks like a complicated card, but it really isn't. And this is just going to go right across here, right across the bottom of the teacup. So I'm going to add some dimensionals on here. Oh yeah, the flowers from the bottled happiness would look good in here. Actually, any florals would look good in here. If you have some smaller florals, they would look great in these little teacups. So lots of things you can do with this set. All right, so this is a 1/2 inch wide and it's 4 1/4 inches long. So it goes the full length of the card there. And then I just added a couple pearls. So pretty simple, but just really pretty. So for those of you that are just joining me, um, this is the second card that we made. So if you missed the first card and part of this card, there is a tutorial that I have in the description with this video. So feel free to just download that tutorial. There's a link so that you can do that. All right, so that is card number 2. And then let's see, let's do this one next. This one is the new Starry Sky. So this is one of the new in colors. Actually, all of these are in colors if I didn't mention that. Let's make sure I got this the right way here. So it has the lattice design on the front. And then, of course, I had to use my doily again. So I started this card with just adding the doily first in the center. And then with this particular stamp set and die set that I'm using, there's an overlay. So I showed you with this last one that you can stamp these little leaves, this kind of design on your teacup. You can also use the die cut that is in the bundle to add that on there as well. So I've already cut this out and I have my adhesive tape on here, adhesive tape, adhesive sheet on here. So it's already sticky. I just have to peel off the backing. So the nice thing about these detailed dies is if you put an adhesive sheet on your cardstock and then you cut out your die shape, you'll have a nice little sticky back and you won't have mess of glue everywhere. And you'll be able to just add your die cut right to whatever it is you're adding it to. In this case, I added it to the teacup. So it looks really cool. All right, and now I'm going to add my little foliage here up at the top. So we'll add that. And I stamped all of my foliage in garden green. So it's all garden green. And then we'll add some dimensionals. And we'll pop this up. So again, a very simple design. These cards and envelopes make it so easy to create these really cute cards. All right, we'll add that, and then we'll just embellish it with some of those little florals again. So this time I did my florals in fresh freesia, so that's what I'm using here. We'll add that. And then I have these little tiny pieces, these little tiny florals. The buds, I guess. Oh, I got you hooked on doilies. Is that a good thing? It should be a good thing. If I get you hooked on doilies and paper tearing, then my mission's accomplished. All right. So that's what that looks like. And then what I did is I just took a piece of um, this is the fresh freesia cardstock, and it was 1 inch by 4 1/4 inches, and I just tore it in half. So I used half of it here, and then this other half is going to go over here. But before I do that, I have to stamp my greeting on there. So let me do that. So I'm going to use some Starry Sky. So this piece is a 1/2 inch wide and it's 4 1/4 inches long. And then I'm going to just use the same greeting. So we'll add that. So we will adhere the top part of this greeting. Hopefully I cut this right. Looks shorter. Nope, it's right. My eyes are just fooling me. So I just put a little bit of glue on the top part here and adhered it to my torn paper. And then we'll just pop this up on the card. So I'm going to add, let's see, let's add a thing here. Because we're going to overlap this, the bottom part of this teacup. So I don't want to dimensional in the middle. So we'll add this. And there, how cute is that? And then of course we'll add our little pearls. Pearls are my go-to embellishment. They work with just about everything. Pearls and rhinestones. Okay, so that is the third card. So I hope you guys are enjoying these cards. And then let's see, let's do this one. So for this one, this is the Orchid Oasis. So hopefully you can see the color. It probably looks more blue with my camera, but it's actually like a purple color. So let's move this. So here's what the card base looks like. Let's make sure I got the card opening the right direction. I do. You never know. So for this one, the first thing I did is I just cut a 4 1/4 inch piece. This is white cardstock. It's 4 1/4 by 3. And then I embossed it with one of it's called the stars. I'm sorry, the stripes and splatters, stars and stripes, stripes and splatters embossing folder. So this is the splatter embossing folder that's in there. You can use any embossing folder that you have. So the first thing I'm going to do is just adhere my doily. Here's my doily again. I'm going to adhere just 1/4 of a doily right to the top. So if you cut the doily in 4 pieces, let's see if I got one here. I do. So if you take your doily and just cut it in half, and then just cut your doily in half again, you'll get 4 pieces that you can just use just like this to just kind of tuck in your cardstock or tuck around your designer paper, however you want to use the doilies. So we will add this to the card front. There's that. And then it's just a matter of adding the teacup again. So this time I have another little tag that I'm going to be adding. So I just got to get a piece. Oh, it's stuck to my finger. I got to get a piece of washi tape. So you can use washi tape or scotch tape, anything to just kind of hold it in place. So we'll add that little piece behind there. And then we'll add our little foliage again. So you can see the pattern I have here. But like I said, it just makes some really pretty cards. The perfect finishing touch. It does. Those pearls are awesome. All right, so we'll add our teacup. So there's lots of things you can do with the teacup. Like I said, you could even emboss this too if you wanted to emboss your teacup. So we'll add that, and then we'll bring this string down. And I think I have to use a smaller dimensional. I can grab it. So then add a little dimensional there to hold that string in place. And this time I have a tiny tag. So we'll add that. It just says enjoy. So we'll add that. And then of course we have to add our little flowers again. Yeah, so you guys see why I cut all of these out ahead of time. Yeah, let's put this one over here. And this one will go up here. And then we have one more. So again, these are done in that fresh freesia. So that's that one. And then this is just a 1/2 inch wide by 4 1/4 inch piece of designer paper. So for this, I just popped this one up just to give the card a little bit more depth and dimension. So you could just adhere it, flat to the card if you want. All right, so that's just going to get popped up right there. And then we'll just add our little slice of lemon right here. So I'm going to add a little dimensional right in there. So I like to add glue to the pieces that are overlapping onto like cardstock and onto my designer paper. So there you go. And now we can add a couple more pearls. And I typically use the rule of 3 for adding pearls, but not always. It just depends. Depends on my mood, I guess. No, it depends on actually the card. All right, so that is, what are we on? Card number 4. That is card number 4. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And then, of course, you can decorate the inside any way you want to, or you can leave it blank. And then here is the last card. So this is card number 5. And for this one, this is what the card base looks like. So it has that polka dot look to it. Let's see here. I always have to make sure I'm opening it correctly. You never want to adhere your card upside down. All right, so for this one, this piece is going to get adhered right to our card front. But before I do that, I'm going to stamp this time. Instead of using the die cut shapes, I stamped my foliage right on this piece of cardstock. So this is what it looks like. That's the image. So I'm going to use garden green ink, and you can kind of lay your teacup there on your cardstock first to kind of get an idea of where you want to stamp it. And then just stamp your image. And then that way your teacup will match up with that. So I have to grab, let me get this out of the way before I get my arm in it. So I'm going to stamp the greeting right on the teacup this time. So there's a nice thank you image in the set. Well, there's a couple images, but this one in particular fits right in the center perfectly. So I just used a little bit of Starry Sky ink to add that. So let's go ahead and adhere this. I like to try to stamp my images first before I adhere the paper to my card front, just in case you make a mistake. Not that we make a mistake very often, right? But just in case it happens, then I can flip that piece over and try stamping again. So we'll add this. And I'm going to, actually, before I add this, I got to add my stamped flowers. So for this one, I did a little bit of mix and matching. I added stamped flowers. So these are the floral images, and they're spaced out perfectly so that you can get them, you know, pretty much exactly where you want them in these little spaces here. Pretty much. After I just broke my golden rule and I stamped after I adhered, but that's okay. It worked this time. And then what I did is I just added some red florals right over the top. So I just kind of matched up the floral images and added them over the top. Oops. So that one's all right. We'll put that one there. And what else do I got here? That one here. So that way you can get, you know, some of the sweet sorbet in there, and you have the petal pink in the background. So it's just kind of a nice way to change up the color a little bit so they're not all the same color. And then we'll add our teacup. And then on the bottom, I just did a little bit of layering of cardstock and designer paper. So, so this is just a 1/2 inch wide, and I think it's 3 3/4. Yep, 3 3/4 inches. Oops. So I'm going to add my doily to this first. Yep, here I am with the doilies again. So add the doily on the bottom. We'll just trim off that excess. So let's add that. So these pieces I just popped up, just again to give it a little bit more depth and dimension. And this is just going to go right across the bottom here. So I just kind of lined it up with the bottom of the, whoop, slippery. I just lined it up with the bottom of the cardstock piece. I suppose I didn't tell you what size cardstock that was. I think it's 3 by 3 1/4. The white is. And then this one, we're just going to adhere right over the top. And so this piece is a 1/2 inch by 3 inch. So I just cut it a 1/4 inch shorter just to kind of do a little bit of layering. And then I like to add little buttons, kind of makes it look like little buttons if I only add 2 little pearls. And that's it. So that's what that card looks like. Yes, the size of the white is 3 by 3 1/4 inches. 3 by 3 3/4 inches. Oh my gosh. 3 by 3 3/4 inches. Whew. All right. So let me grab these other cards. I'm going to bring these back so you guys can see them all. So that was 5 cards in about half hour. So like once you get all your stuff prepped and cut out, it doesn't take long to put your cards together. You know, I like to cut everything out and then do my assembly. So, um, so whatever works for you, but that's definitely easy cards to put together. And like I said, you really can use any stamp set that you want with these layouts. There's lots of different things that you can do with these particular layouts. So don't get too hung up on the Tea Boutique suite. All right. So those are the 5 cards that I wanted to demonstrate for you. And then I also have, let's see if I can come back on screen. Whoops. There we go. Now you can still see them. Okay. So those are the 5 cards that we just made. And then I'm also going to show you what else I was kind of playing around with. So let me move these out of the way. So every month I like to put together a printable tutorial and I send it out to everybody that places an order with me. So no matter what order you place with me, I like to send a little gift to my customers. So every month I send out a free tutorial to anyone that places the order. So this is the tutorial for this month. It's the Tea Boutique suite. So you could tell I really like this suite. So these are some of the other cards that are in that tutorial. So um, this is all done in that fresh freesia. I'm going to just move these over here. And of course, I did some paper tearing like on the side of the card. So just really very simple designs, but just really pretty. It's just the teacup that just makes these so pretty. So here I just used up some scraps. Here I did kind of a monochromatic design. And then this was actually a design that we used in our team meeting. We do kind of like a mystery stamping. So this was what I created during that mystery stamping, which I thought was fun. And then here's another design, just very simple. The hearts actually come from the Tea Boutique suite. So there's a die in there that you can create those little hearts. And then this was another layout that I used from one of our team meetings. So just kind of a fun layout and a great way to showcase that designer paper across the card. So this tutorial is available all month long. Like I said, I send it out anytime someone places an order. I send it out to them. They can use the card designs any way they want. So just kind of a fun little gift idea for everybody. And then what I decided to do, I just have to grab it here. I decided besides the tutorial, I wanted to do something, besides the tutorial on these cards that I just showed you, I wanted to do something for something else besides sending the tutorial. So I am going to be sending out all the cards that I made today. I'm going to send out a little kit to everybody and a cute little box that I made. Um, just as a little thank you for everyone that places an order. I know that everybody's really excited about the catalog, and I was too. I am too. So I decided to put together cute little card kits that I'll send out to anyone that places an order that started yesterday, and we'll do it through the week. So anyone will do from yesterday to Friday. I'll send out these cute little card kits. So that's my little surprise. I just got excited about the cards I shared with you today. So I cut out all the pieces for these cards. Let me show you. So I cut out all these pieces, these little pieces here. The only thing that isn't in the card kit are any of the stamped images, but you can use, you can use the teacups and other things. You can put other things in there besides these stamped images if you don't have that set. So it's a card kit of 5 cards, 5 cards I shared today. So I'll send that out to everybody as a little gift as well. So I thought it was kind of fun. I had fun putting together the little card kits, and it's just a nice way to say thank you. So, and thank you guys for joining me today. Um, I'm just really super excited about this catalog. I'm super excited about all the products. There's just so many more things that I wanted to share with you guys, but we'll start with this for today. Um, and just so you guys are aware, I don't know if you saw, but there is a in color starter kit special. So it's a sign on special. So let me scoot that in here. So if you haven't seen it, this is what it is. So when you join Stampin' Up from now until the end of May, you get the regular starter kit, which is $99 plus tax. Shipping is always free on the starter kit. So you get to choose $125 in products. So you can choose new catalog products, you can choose products from the mini catalog, you can choose a combination of the two. So you choose 125, whatever you want. Um, Plus, this month you get this in color collection here. So you get grid paper, you get a pack of cardstock that has all 5 colors. You get the ink pad collection, all 5 colors, and then you get the designer paper. It's a super deal. So you get that free. So that's like $66.50 worth of product free in your starter kit. So, if you guys are excited about the new catalog, you love the new colors, this starter kit special is just fabulous. It's really the best deal in the catalog, right now. So I'd highly recommend it. Um, if you're worried about having to hold workshops and all that kind of stuff, you can make your demonstrator status. You could do whatever you want with your demonstratorship. So if you want it just to support your hobby and just get a 20% discount, you can do that. Um, it's just a great way to get a bunch of products and join the Stampin' Up community because it's just an amazing community. Along with our team is amazing too. So if you love crafting, you love a good deal, the In Color Starter Kit is a fabulous deal. So I highly recommend checking that out. I did link to that in the description with this video as well, so you can see all the good stuff that you get. All right, guys. So I think that's all I have for you today. There's a lot of links in the description. So if you want to check out the tutorial for these cards, there's shopping links, there's the In Color Starter Kit links. If you have any questions, just feel free to leave me a comment. I'll go through all your comments once I get done with the live today. But yeah, definitely check out all the fun stuff. So if you need a catalog, there's a link there too for that. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the new catalog. And I will talk to you guys again on Sunday. So take care, everybody. Bye.